Hey everyone, the name's Leon and welcome back to The Letter. Now, I know I haven't done a video on this in a while, but that's why we're just going to get right back into it. And this game scared me. Oh, jeez. This game scared me last time, and and I'm sorry if you hear my brother. He's playing Fortnite and I really don't like him playing Fortnite, but I'm playing this at 1:30 in the morning, so it's going to be 10 times scarier, but anyways. I really hope there aren't magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade praisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough? I don't know how to pronounce that. Also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you. When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or the television. I can't remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. Yep. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I think they are brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I'll lead the way. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing and another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope. Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Mom, you haven't finalized anything with an agent yet. I would really advise against making plans this early when...
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Now, guys, before I continue on, please comment down below if you want to see me play Red Dead Redemption 2. I have the game, and I'm only on Chapter 2, but I'm fine playing through Chapter 1 since it's an awesome game. And I am willing to play through the whole story with y'all and play with some friends. Just to say, I was just saying that, and I hope you'll comment down below. Maybe even another game. But anyways, let's get back to the game. Oh, please, please, please let the guys be the one. Eventually, or our group reaches the kitchen. Ooh, this is a lovely kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse, that's not really a cuss word, is it? I don't think that's a cuss word. Cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull it off. Or make it look presentable,
The
at least.
highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness, why can't I say words, catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this time something lights up at his eyes at the mention of the undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I always found it cute whenever I see children act the way, my younger siblings especially. And a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good
Any
condition.
meds down here?
Oh, love.
Didn't
Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as that word. Do y'all think that's a cuss word? Just saying. I mean, hell, depending on how it's used, for some people it's a cuss word. So I don't want to, offend anybody, so that's why I'm not going to say it. Know how to spot a buyer within sincere interest. Score. I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading up to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. I can hear rats and everything. That's not... I'm making a video, Noah. Hopefully this ghost does not appear again. It starts off as a small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Oh no, there's people in there. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Uh-oh. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. Oh no. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I've left it alone for a good while, the same words spilling out on my lips, and a silent prayer. Oh, no. Until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Whew. My heart went up a little bit.
Yes, ma'am? Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting. Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job. What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right? Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right? Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah.
Hannah, that's your name,
I
alright.
just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as she tastes a particularly... Why can't I say that word? Particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already? Hey, chat, comments, whatever. Viewers, I don't know what y'all like to call them. Again, don't want to offend anybody. But, are y'all cat lovers, dog lovers, lizard lovers? Let me know.
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
Boom. Okay, so Hannah's more of a dog person. I'm more of a dog person, but I still have a cat that I own. His name is Smokey, for y'all wondering.
But you see, this is going to be a gift, my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork. We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince with the nails digging into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only looks away with a sigh.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel. Isabella. Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel. It's Isabella. Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and what's this?
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do
That's
interrupt
good to
her.
hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
You don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying,
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in the grip and the breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills in my mind.
Isabella, are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I can remember everything as clear as day. I can too, and that terrified me. This letter and that woman in the attic. Oh no, it's that letter. It's real.
the letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? Do I show the letter or do I not show the letter? Let's let Rose... Yeah, I blurted out before I could think twice about what I'm going to say.
We need to get out of here. This place is cursed.
Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in a conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in our group's direction have been giving her trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back
I'm
neatly.
really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important. Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
No, you don't understand. There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
Before Rose could open her mouth for a retort, a hand lands on both our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distant closer.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem here?
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion. Especially darling little Lily here.
He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze with an instructable smile spreads across his face.
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
The pressure on my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scroll on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It is also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCulloch's face. The realization that we might lose the scale because of my outburst instantly dawns on me. Rose will be beyond that word.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather myself to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me. And by the way, I'm sorry for my brother.
Isabella, wait.
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look,
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to saw. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it, nevertheless, more as automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have the nagging feeling that, one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own, but
Crap, I accidentally clicked it.
look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now,
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
that's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether I myself, at the unlucky turn that the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Fortnite. At that memory, but we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests miling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxville myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon, sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows, and I think it just got darker. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, an occasional laughter, and teasing here. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter. Personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I need admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy that word out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way it works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now.
Shit! Didn't even trouble? Better not lie.
A sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupt the pleasant quiet that has settled. Soon enough, heads begin to turn in search of the source, mine included. My eyes dart around the small crowd before zeroing in on a lone figure crouched behind the same group of old people checking out the decors moments ago. He is facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands. But I don't need to see his face to know whose back it is. Oh, but I recognize that dumb parka anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I march towards him. After what happened today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with this.
All the time to
Ashton Frey!
What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded. He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor, but it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. That word, his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink, a cough, he makes a face, and then in a too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, where the flesh has crept out his neck and cheeks. In another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected
Hello, you two
disposition.
scaredy cats. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the cannery. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
a mansion.
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to
I
face
just
him.
finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. Am I confused to look? He drops the hand resting on my arm like he has touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how the often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he has helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend, except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he'll get. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spell a word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background, whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Help me. That's creepy. I don't look back. And that's where I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Leaving it here because I probably recorded I've recorded almost 30 minutes of this. So remember, guys, comment down below if you want to see me play Red Dead Redemption 2, Battlefield 5, any game on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, even the PC. Once I get that everything going, I'll leave down in the comments when my PC will be ready, but the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are already ready. And so is my mobile phone. If y'all have a mobile game that y'all want me to play, leave that below. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, click the like button, click subscribe to join the Leon family. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out, everybody.